this phrase that I used to hear. I cut for that one. As in, there aren't a whole lot of folk on this here earth that I would do a whole lot for, but if push came to shove and shove came to push, when the rock becomes a hard place and it's down to rock, paper, scissors, but water always wins. That one right there I would do for. I'd do anything for that one. That's my road dog, my ace boom coon. They've always been there. I know they got my back, so if they ever needed whatever, I'm down for whatever. Believe that. Well, we all got that one we were cut for, and if you don't, then my apologies, but back to this point I'm trying to make. We all got this one that we cut for, but what about Jesus? All right, come on. And I hear you ask, what about him? Well, first of all, it's him. The big H, not the little. And then I'd have to follow with, why not? Jesus was the baddest dude that's just slaying people. He was super holy, never sinned, but took on sin for us. Follow, stay with me. Here was the baddest dude, whose swagger was so mean and righteousness so sick that dudes claiming they got swag actually stole it from him. And they not even represented right. And that's the big H, not the little. Some guy's so gangster, again, I'm just using that, what do you call it? Oh, right. Hip-hop talk. So gangster that he took 2 nails, each hand, a third to his feet. This after he was beaten beyond recognition. I mean, really. Have you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John? I mean, really. See, Jesus is the best friend that you'll ever have in your life. The best. But who will cut for him? Who cut for them all the time? And that's intentionally with a big T, not the little. Because by deciding to go the distance for that one that should be the little, you have made them big. Bigger than God himself. They are your idols. Suddenly, mama, daddy, grandmammy's word has more relevance than the living word, 2 capitals, and friends, TV, man, even the job you hate so much. All takes top priority when God asks you, hey, want to come home with me? Ooh. That's when all the excuses come out. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm tired. I gotta go do that thing at that place. I'm tired. I gotta take an extra shift. I'm sick. I don't feel good. Lost track of time. I'm tired. Snaps! I use it again. I gotta go. I just got off work. I just broke up with my boo. And when we run out of every single other lame excuse, lame, pathetic excuse, we finally just own up to it, come real, be totally 100 with God and say, I just don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. Isn't that something? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Well, Jesus didn't want to do it either. When he prayed so hard, it was as if he was sweating blood, cried out to the Father and said, Father, let this cup pass. Oh, yeah. Then the Spirit moved on. And he calmed down and said, but not my will, but your will. He did more than just cut for you. He died for you, made himself a living sacrifice, holy and undefiled for you. And when I asked you, what about Jesus, you didn't even consider him. When I mentioned all those others, those little T's you made into giants, even David knew he needed to slay Goliath. Goliath was the King Kong of that day and age, and King Kong had nothing on Jesus, and that was little kings. I'm putting King Kong in its rightful place. Back to the topic, you really need to stop it. You laugh at the very thought of living for Christ, doing for him, making yourself into a living sacrifice, but you'll lay down your life for a Goliath? I tell you, Jesus is my homeboy, but you worship a man who can't solve your problems, can't give you rest, and will be judged and tried with you like the next man, but I'm the joke? Oh, okay. Young man, young lady, I would encourage you to take a closer look at your walk and dive deep in this Jesus thing. Take another look. because nobody has done for me the way my God has. Nobody can solve my issues the way my God can, and despite everyone telling me how pretty I looked, it was He who helped me see how wonderfully made I am. Straight from His book, He gave up everything. You can't sacrifice a second. He gave up everything. You can't give up a minute, a dollar, a praise, a shout, a holler. You can't stand for Him one time, give up a hand clap. We want all our wants, want all our needs, but won't do anything to even sacrifice for that. Last I heard, you got to sacrifice your wants, and that means putting in for those needs so you can do the things you want later. Well, you need Him. You can look at me sideways, go pull out some scientific, random factorial theoretical hypothesis written by some of the scientists who found it in the internet it was true, that you need Him. And He sacrificed for you, so why not? And why can't you? That's rhetorical, by the way. The answer is you can. You just don't want to.